Come in. Please have a seat. Good morning, Dan and Julan. Thank you for coming today. How are you both?
Good morning, Mr. Friends. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Mahigit 20 taon na ang nakalilipas, sumiklab ang pinakamapanganib na engkwentro sa Valenzuela City.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Let's start with brief introductions. Can each of you tell me a little bit about yourselves and why you're interested in this role?
Sure. I recently graduated with a degree of computer science from Mingsin University of Science and Technology. And during my studies, I focused on web development and participated in a few internships where I work on building scalable web applications and particularly interested in this role because Republic of Gamers works on innovative projects and cloud computing, which is an area I want to grow in.
I have a background in software engineering and have been working as a junior developer for a small startup for the past 2 years. My main experience is in back-end development and database management. I'm looking for a position where I can contribute to larger scale projects and learn from a more structured development team, which is why I'm excited about this opportunity.
Excellent. Let's move on to some tactical questions. Dan, can you explain the difference between synchronous and asynchronous programming in simple terms?
Yes. Synchronous programming executes tasks one after another. Each task waits for the previous one to finish. In contrast, asynchronous programming allows multiple tasks to run concurrently. This is useful when a task takes a long time, like fetching data from a server. So, the program doesn't have to wait and can continue executing other tasks.
Good explanation. Julan, can you give an example from your experience where you use asynchronous programming?
Certainly, in my previous role, we built a real-time notification system. We use asynchronous calls to fetch user data from the database and send notification without blocking other processes. This helped improve system responsiveness and overall experience.
That's great. Now, let's do a problem solving scenario. Imagine we have a bug in a web application where users sometimes cannot log in, but the error doesn't appear consistently. So, how would you approach debugging this issue? Dan, let's start with you.
So, first, I would gather as much as information as possible. Uh, User reports or logs and steps to reproduce the error. Then I'd check the authentication flow in the code and see if there are any conditions where it might fail. I would also consider server load, database connectivity, or session management issues. And after identifying potential causes, I'd fix this in a staging environment before deploying.
Very thorough. Julan,
I'd approach and similarly, but I would also implement logging to capture the exact condition of the failure like timestamps, user action, and server responses. This helped narrow down intermittent issues that are hard to reproduce. Collaboration with teammates to review code and logs would also be a part of my approach.
both of you are excellent. Now, let's talk teamwork. This is a group interview. So I'd like you to discuss how you would handle a situation where you and a colleague disagree on how to implement a feature. Julan, can you start?
I think communication is key. I first listen carefully to my colleagues' perspective and understand their reasoning. Then I'd explain my approach clearly, highlighting benefits and potential drawbacks. If we still disagree, I suggest running a small prototype for both approaches or seeking input from a senior team member.
I agree with Julan. It's important to stay professional and solution focused. Sometimes disagreements lead to a better solution because we consider multiple angles. And I'd also make sure we respect each other's opinion and work together to reach a decision that benefits the project.
Very well. Now, let's move to a cultural fit question. As you can see, Republic of Gamers values creativity, adaptability, and continuous learning. Can you share an example of a time you adapted to a major change at school or work? Dan, let's start with you.
During my internship, the team switched from a traditional waterfall workflow to agile. And I had to quickly learn agile practices like daily stand ups, sprint planning, and retrospectives. It was challenging at first, but I adapt by asking questions, attending workshops, and collaborating closely with teammates. By the end, I felt more productive and appreciated the flexibility Agile offered.
In my previous job, our client changed the project requirements halfway through development. I had to quickly adjust our architect and priorities. I collaborated with a team to identify which figure could be delivered first and which needed redesign. It taught me to remain calm, flexible, and solutions oriented under pressure.
Excellent examples. Now, let's do a short coding exercise. Please take 2 minutes to write a function that takes a list of numbers and returns the list sorted in ascending order, okay? So, Dan, could you please start?
So, here's a simple Python function.
Looks good. How about you, Julan?
I don't know. I wrote a version using Bubbleshare to demonstrate algorithm understanding.
Also good. Well, both approaches are valid. Thank you. Well, finally, do you have any questions for me about the role or company?
Yes, I'd like to know more about the team structure and how junior developers are mentored.
Well, for that, we do have a team of senior developers who act as mentors. Juniors are paired with seniors for code reviews and project guidance. And we also encourage attending workshops and online courses.
I'm curious about opportunities for career growth within the company.
Well, in our company, we have a clear path from junior developer to a senior developer and team lead. Performance reviews are conducted every 6 months, and promotions are based on skills, contributions, and leadership potential.
That sounds great.
Yes, very motivating.
Well, thank you both for coming today. It was a pleasure meeting you. We'll be in touch within a week regarding next steps.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Friends.
Thank you very much.